In case any of you are wondering, no, I don't know what's happening with my mom. No, I don't know what they're going to do about her meds. Even if they start her off on the same that she was on in the outside world that she was on from before, that doesn't mean it'll stay that way. They're going to do what they're going to do. There's nothing I can do about it. My mom might not forgive me. Again, she had to be hospitalized. And it continuously breaks my heart to know that she can't understand that. Lest you forget, just one of the things was her repeatedly bumping her head on that chandelier because she insisted on moving the dining room table. Unfortunately, she was strong enough to move it. And then running through the neighborhood wondering if she had a concussion and asking strangers if she had a concussion. The only reason I know that is because one of those strangers, it wasn't a friend, it was a stranger, a male, knocking on my bedroom door, saying my name. Obviously, because my mom told him to. Strange as fucking Twilight Zone thing. It's not like my mom had the wherewithal to say, hey Laura, so-and-so is here to assure, you know what I mean? Whoa, it was like, male stranger. For all I know, my mom wasn't even in the house. She might not have been, because she doesn't grasp anything, you know? She might not forgive me. I have to be the bad guy, you know? This time around was so different, you know? Last time it was slow 6 weeks that ended in the type of shit that happened immediately this time, see? So last time was the slow, and by the time she was hospitalized, it was like, you know, I was ready. I mean, she needed to be hospitalized before, and it, you know, then, and but it took her going manic, you know, last time around, after weeks of just the opposite. Because, you know, my friend, you know, you call everyone a friend, but they're not like a close friend, you know. But anyway, that nice woman from my mom's church, definitely a lot closer of a friend than the other one that was in my life for years, you know. Drove me nuts. She was good to us, but paid a price. this one, she's the one who spent, she's like, she kept reassuring me, you're doing good, you're doing the best you can, and it's like, so this time she's like, just rest, I fought to keep my mom out of the hospital because she just got out. I begged her, please, just, don't do this to yourself, Mom. Every time when you refuse to sleep, remember, this is not, despite what she'll say to the contrary, it's not true that she can't sleep. If you're walking around like a zombie after on a couple and a half hours sleep, okay, then my common sense, I know, I don't care what you say, your body wants to sleep and you're forcing it to stay awake. It wants to sleep. It's on powerful psych meds. You're not all chipper. You're in danger. Even like I have to tell you to watch out. You're gonna fall. You know what I mean? No, she's forcing herself to stay awake, and that is always the beginning of the end for her. And I tell her, I'm like, Mom, when you do this to yourself, you have to, even if you can't sleep, even if you're better off, even if you just lie in bed and listen to your music, okay? At least you're resting, okay? Rather than doing your manic things in the house in the middle of the night and, being potentially in danger. You're safe in bed, And I tell her, you're going to wind up in the hospital, and she thinks it can't happen, and then it does. It just sucks. It's not like that for everybody. There's a lot of people that don't give a fuck. They'll put their loved one in the mental hospital, or help to make it happen. No one has the power to do. You have to have the proper authority involved, but you know what I mean. We'll help to make it happen, and then be like, I did the right thing, and that's the way it goes, and that's where they belong, even if they don't think so, and that's the end of it. But they're not me. See? They're not me. And this kills me. It fucking kills me, and it kills me more to know that my mom doesn't understand. That doesn't just kill me, that shatters me. There's nothing I can do about any of it. She thinks she does nothing wrong. And she thinks, so I'm the bad guy, I'm the enemy, What can I do? Can't just let her get progressively worse, not when, she's literally putting herself in danger. Putting us in danger technically, but case you're wondering. I feel like putting a bra on, that's why this blanket's over me. And I'm wearing the two different socks because I couldn't find the matches to them. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, I did get my room clean. I got pretty much this whole house clean. I didn't do the laundry, but for the most part, I got my room clean, so I can't trip over anything. Potentially hurt myself. Be getting back $107 from Dog Naturally. I'll be getting back 50 for the medium-sized shoes that I didn't keep. I kept the wide ones. That was just to take home, or I don't even need the shoes. And they weren't good quality. They weren't even hardly worn, like they weren't worn out in the world or whatever, but they kind of got gross fast, so I'm glad they weren't bought for any other purpose but just, bum around and outside with my baby. As I told you, I keep dreaming about, and they're not exactly happy, pleasant dreams, Weird dreams. He's still alive. And then I wake up and he's not, so. I left Joe a voicemail. Joe sent me an email, it's hard if your mom, I know it's hard even though she's sick to hear her, the last thing she says and screams out in front of the cops, Laura, I hate you, So that would be, if anything happened to her, that would be the last thing she ever said to me. I forget what Joe wrote to me. He's like, it's hard to hear that even if she doesn't mean it or whatever. And then he says, if you need to talk, I'm here, but I know I'm really busy with work all week. I know, Joe. There's nothing to say. I don't even want to talk. What is there to say, And then I said to him, I don't know how often this happens with people or I've just never, I told you, I've periodically, even recently, dreamed about my dead aunt being alive. She wasn't I loved her. She wasn't like an important everyday part of my existence, like my Omar was for 16 years. dream about the big giant thing in the front yard, and the wolves I didn't get to actually see my Omar, you know. I knew he was in there, and then giant wolves lunged at me. Anyway, I said to Joe, like, it can't be, I don't know how common it is. I don't think it's very healthy. I'm sure it's not. But nonetheless, I keep dreaming about Omar still being alive, you know? And they're not dreams back when he was alive, okay? They're dreams, the same ones I had with my aunt, where they've like come back to life, like they're not supposed to feel. So yeah, my mom hasn't contacted me. She might not. She might really be hating me and thinking that she didn't need to be in there, and like I said, I didn't and wouldn't, based on all the things I've told you. Some of you remember in the past when the police was, even a decade ago, the 8 days of hell, you know, where the police wouldn't take me seriously and should have taken her and didn't, and then when they didn't, okay, it took everything in me to contact them, and then they did it, and then I'm gonna have my mom be taunting me, you know, you called the police on me when I did nothing wrong, I'm gonna call the police on you now, you know, it's like, but it's not like I called the police. I simply shared what was going on with professionals, and then they determined, based on conversation over the phone, in depth, with my mom. See? But as far as my mom's concerned, you know, if I wasn't here to see what's going on with her, then there'd be nobody would know. That's a childlike attitude, because I told you eventually someone would find out. It might take longer. It would take longer than me living here and seeing it and nipping it in the bud, but eventually it would happen, okay? She wasn't snapping out of it. She wasn't getting any better. And it fucking kills me because it's so soon, okay? if it had at least been several months or years, you know what I mean? But she just got out. And when it started, I'm like, no. She's got to snap out of this. She snapped out of this plenty of times. She's just depressed because her friend didn't come down. She'll be all right. And then it escalated, and then it was, again, guy she met may very well exist, but he sure as fuck is not her fiance, okay? And it's highly unlikely he's instantly her boyfriend either. But I begged her, I begged the universe, I begged whatever. Please let my mom snap out of this. Please don't let her get hospitalized. Because of course, the big thing that I think getting hospitalized is they'll want to increase her meds. That's what we don't want to see happen, because then that's permanent, you see? That's what's so upsetting. That's what fucking rips my heart out. And all I can say is that, I hope that doesn't happen, but it's happened so many times in the past. Of course, I'm going to fear it if it's always happened. I could be talking for nothing. This might not even be filming. If that's the case, oh well. If it's filming, I'll shut it off. I'm not going to tell.